Alright, so quick little build showcase request I was given. I'm not going to name who, just keep it private so it's not too embarrassing. But I will be showing one of my viewers who asked for it and the two builds that I was using for my Yareli versus the level 5 Lich thing. So, first off is the Yareli, which is the one that it's kind of like the derivative of my perfected Yareli. I think it's not that different. You can slow it down if you want, but when it comes to the weapon, which I do believe they wanted, also here we go. Two reds on secondaries, two blues on armor, and one yellow on amber. So you go to the Vasto. The Vasto I'll slow down for. So we're going for basically a direct damage build. Keeping in mind that shotguns actually have a lot more status per shot, not per pellet, but per shot than you would think. So we're going for a galvanized secondary shiver build. You could go with pistol ammo mutation, that's only if you're gonna go there for a long time. Keep in mind, a quick tip is if your power strength is above 50, your rally should be able to one-shot that Lich. And also the fact that my Lich was actually immune. No, it was kind of sort of at a point where like it took less damage from corrosive essentially. The corrosive it took less damage from, and I do believe cold too. Essentially, it kind of like countered the whole build, and I still almost one-shot it. But if you hit it with the bubbles, which do affect the liches, you could have one. I would have one-shot it, and you could too, as long as you use this build and understand that you do have to get Incarnate first and kills as well in order to utilize this build to its fullest. You essentially want the fire rate, but it's more important to get the multi-shot because this secondary fire, the actual multi-shot is at 16. Take that away, it becomes 12, and I don't think you want it at 12. The 16 per shot is more pellets to make sure there's both corrosive and cold, which is the more important one. Keeping in mind that liches only take 4 instances of cold. Essentially, you're getting only about half the effectiveness of this, but it's still adequate due to the fact that it's just enough damage, especially when you're using it with your rally with a full crit setup. Keep in mind that you don't need the Archon shards. She still will bring it up high enough to do red crits. So there's absolutely no need for the Archon shards. You just have to make sure you hit with all the pellets or you throw the one first. Hit the Lich with the one and you should be good. And once you do that, you should be able to one-shot the Lich as long as you don't get meleeed in the face by Lich attacks. They lower the amount of time that bug where you lose your weapon happens. Just keep in mind that you just need to basically keep hitting your reload button until your already kind of does reload. Just don't hop off the board in a panic because that's gonna take a little bit to get back to being able to use abilities, but they lower the amount of time it happens, so you should be good as long as you don't panic. Or if you rush her or rush the Lich immediately. So yeah, that's my tips, and this is also my build. The Yareli build is just my perfected build with a little bit of a modification, but you don't need to have a completely perfected Yareli, and you can also use it with a different Warframe if you so choose, like a Zephyr or a Harrow, or whoever gives higher crits. Because the way that code works, I'll probably go through that. It's a percentage of the total crit. That's why you want to go with Shiver, which also does vulnerability, which basically makes it to where Deep Freeze is your go-to for direct damage builds. Unless you're going to use Flare, but you would need to have more fire rate for that. Or you would have to have a fully auto, which is much more potent in this situation. So there's my tips. There's my build. I'll be cutting it here because I could go on this forever, but I probably won't. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I've been having one as well, at least for when I recorded this. So yeah, I hope to see you in future videos, or maybe even some streams if you feel like it. So yeah, I'll see you later. Goodbye.